Hello and welcome back to Rory's Workshop. Thanks for swinging on by. Today we're going to be carrying on with episode 6 of the Fergie. At least I think it's 6. Might be 5, might be 6. I'll put something on the screen about now what episode it is. Good. Pleased I did that. Today I'm going to be carrying off where we left off. We're going to be putting in oil into the engine and into the back axle, of course. But I also need to address a small cock-up. Remember that plate that I was on about? I wasn't too sure. Well, I'll give you a hint. That thick one there, it doesn't go there. This plate here is meant to be here. And I just sort of think everything seemed to be a bit awkward. But it wasn't until last night when I saw it started to tidy up a bit. And then I looked at it again, because I needed to attach the steering arms, and it wasn't seeming right. And then I looked at it and I noticed that there's some, see the red paint? Well, that doesn't look right. And there was a couple of odds and sods, and right. And then it was like the light bulb moment where this plate doesn't belong here. So first thing is first, this morning, I'm going to support the engine on a jack, whip out these 4 bolts, tap the plate out, and then we'll attach it in the right place. I need to have this plate in, sadly, because the bolts and threads only go so far, and they've been lengthened to accommodate this plate. So I can't take the plate out because the threads aren't that long. So I'll quickly whip that off. We'll get that sorted, and then we'll just carry on from there. Naturally, I'll keep you up to date as much as I can, and I'll film any interesting bits. There might be 1 or 2, we'll see. Update! The engine has oil pressure. You've just saw me motoring it over. I forgot that you don't have to, the ignition is on the key, and you can still start it with the starter gear stick. So I just put it into start, and obviously just watched it come up. I know it's full of oil, but I was getting a little bit concerned because it was taking some time. But it did get up, thankfully. Battery was getting tired. You could probably see the fans starting to slow down a bit. So battery's back on charge. Managed to get about 50 pounds, 50 psi on the gauge, which is great, especially just running it off the battery. I'll wait for the oil level to drop in the engine, and I'll wait for it to drop in wait for it to transfer into the back axle. It's still quite full in there. You probably can't see it, but trust me, it is. And it is slowly seeping through. It does take some time. I was getting a little bit concerned because I just threw in 5 gallons of oil and nothing seemed to be happening. But it's just coming up onto the bottom of the dipstick now. Nice and clean. How long it stays on that? Your guess is as good as mine. So now I'm happy that we've got oil pressure, because obviously that is quite a big concern. I hate, another thing why I don't like doing oil changes. There's nothing to justify my concern really, because all you've done is empty oil and refreshed it. But I always wait for the oil pressure light to either go out or for you to get pressure, and it's that unnerving time where you're motoring it over and you're like, I hope there's oil there, because obviously there's a lot of rotating parts in here. But thankfully, obviously, we did get oil pressure, so that's good. Next, I'll throw the radiator on. I'll continue to let the oil seep into the back axle, and then once it's all about level, we'll fill up with water, check the oil levels again, make sure that they're good, and then it'll be, well, possibly time for the bonnet, and just all the niff-naff and trivia, the exhaust and what have you, and see what are the spare parts I find. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. And now, so you can see the cylinder bowl is filthy. Luckily, I have. It's filthy on the inside as well, but never mind. So, select petrol. Oh, yeah. In she comes. Pink. And now it's sending fuel down to the carb. You'll see it flowing through the top. Quickly check the engine oil whilst we're here. Right to the... Oh, because I poured some in earlier. Let's put some in. Perfect. To the line. Ooh, we like that, don't we? Vent around the other side. Carb isn't leaking. Nope, that's good. That's just off the TVO coming off this bloody side of the engine. That'll burn off. Clean that bit. How we're looking here. Oh, we're getting there. See, it wasn't even on the dipstick earlier, so we are getting there, slowly but surely. Right, I'm going to clean out that jug. Chuck some antifreeze in it. Chuck some water in it. Job will be a good one. So I've put some antifreeze in it. You can hear it gargling its way through. I've put about 4 litres in because I want this to be safe during the winter. I have put a little bit, I think it's about 50-50 I've put in. So I'll grab some water now and we'll top it for water. We'll measure it as well, we'll see how close we are with the water. So it's back together, there's water in it and antifreeze. And now it's in them, sort of, it's going to be loud, but now it has the minimum amount of stuff on it and in it that I need to move it. So hopefully it's going to fire up. There's no exhaust on it, so this will be loud. Just a caution to you headphone wearers. I'm not going to take it out. We'll wait for oil pressure to build before we take it out. But yeah, we'll take it out, make sure the clutch is fine. And it'll be a good example to just to get all the oil through the engine, make sure it's all nice and get it warm. See if it leaks. Probably will, but we'll try and find out where it is and if we can fix it. Yeah, and we'll take it out. I'll tidy up the workshop. We'll bring it back in, finish it all off, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to lay you down probably about here. Can you see? There we go. Good enough. Up a bit. There we go. Perfect. Right. So, it's in neutral. Ignition. Ignition. Bit of throttle. Bit of choke. That is loud, isn't it? We've got oil pressure. So with the tractor outside, half built, I'm going to take the opportunity now to tidy up this horrendous mess that I've managed to accrue. I'll do a time lapse, and then yeah, we'll get the Fergie back in. We'll get it finished off. Hopefully today it'll be done and dusted. It's outside at the moment. It's sat on a couple of boards. There's no oil leaking from underneath, which is great. I am going to top up the back axle because it's halfway between the high and low, and I'd prefer it to be at the high end, of course. And yeah, that's about it. So, roll the time lapse. So now with the workshop a little bit cleaner, there are some oil stains that I need to put more sawdust on, but I'll do that later. I'm going to pull the Fergie back in and we'll put the exhaust on and everything else. Watch this. things that need to be adjusted, I'll show you. Come with me! So this, it's weeping just here, but that's probably because of my terrible placement for the Jubilee clip. And the bottom one probably needs nipping up as well. You can see them dripping there. The tapper side weeping, I meant to order a tap when I bought all the stuff, but I didn't. So such is life. After this, once it's all back together, I'm gonna just check the back end actually. I think we'll give that a wipe. After I've done this and rebuilt it all, I'm gonna go and test it. Gonna get the harrow back out, and we're going. Oh, I need to harrow one of the entrances. Yeah, it's half full. Half full. See. So we'll fill that right up. We'll probably chuck. I'll probably chuck about 2 litres in, 4 pints. Yeah, bugger it. It's quite a lot of capacity, so it's got to go a long way. So I'll chuck another 2 litres of oil in. You see the hydraulics work really well. I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, I think it's now time for, we'll put the downswept exhaust back on, then we can put the cover back on for the manifold, bonnet back on, give it a wash, because it is filthy. I think that's about it. The brakes feel okay. This tractor only brakes on this tyre. I do need to look at the other side, but we've tried in the past and it's been quite difficult. But I think for now I'm going to rebuild it, get it back in working condition, and then maybe a bit later on we'll whip off this wheel. We'll have a look at the drum and the brake and everything, and we'll go from there. Oh, I've accidentally turned it to TVO. Bugger. Turn it back in the petrol. We'll see if it starts. It should be alright. So yeah, back in a minute. So guess which idiot has managed to lose the footage for the end of episode 6? That would be me. Can't find it anywhere, so unfortunately you'll have to let me tell you what happened. I apologise for the lights flickering in the background. It's just one of those things, and I'm not going to start messing about with my GoPro settings just yet. I'm not that confident. So what happened then was finished off, put the exhaust on, no problems there, and the same with the intake with the new rubbers from the air cleaner down to the carburetor. But you will see the Fergie again. It'll be coming up in episode 6B, which is after I've been harrowing for a little bit, and I tried to stop that rough running that I was talking about earlier on in episode 6. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe out there. Take care. Bye now.